Becca and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how you can just use ordinary paper straws that you can get from the fast food places just to make some really sturdy storage. You can make them in all different sizes and all you need is some mount board, your straws and some paper, and that's all that you need. If you want to embellish them any more, then that's totally up to you. You can embellish them as much as you want. So like I say, you can do different sizes. This is a small one, and these are with some pre-coloured straws that I've bought from a craft shop. And then the same ones you can make a large one. So I'll tell you all through this through the video, but this is the one that you're going to see me put together. And this is just basically using straws from McDonald's. So if you've got kids like me, it's one of the favourite places for them to go and eat. So let's get started and I'll show you what to do. Right, so to make the gift box I'm using leftover straws. Now if like me you've been using reusable straws, whenever you go to a fast food place or something like that, they give you these paper straws. I really don't like drinking out of these. I just think that they taste funny and I don't enjoy the drink as much as I do. So I just got some reusable ones. But these ones, they always put them into the bag when we go through. I've got 3 kids, so these pile up quite quickly when we go anywhere. So these are the ones from McDonald's, and these are about 8" long. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick these in sets of 12. I've already got some done, but this is just finishing off one side. And I'm doing 3 lots of this, so all I've done is I'm taking some Collal all-purpose glue and I'm just popping it along the edge, and then I've just been rolling up the straw and then making sure that they're all lined up, and then letting those dry flat. So this part does take a little bit of time, because obviously you've got to wait for the straws to dry before you can do any of the other pieces. I've already got the other ones sorted, so I'm just going to pop that to the side so I can show you the next step. So these are my 2 other pieces. Now for the ends of it, the shorter ends, I'm going to cut this in half. So rather than cutting them in half to start with and gluing 2 separate sections, I've just done it this way. So I'm just going to take a ruler and mark the halfway point. So that'll be 4 inches. Zoom in a little bit. There we go. Now this is just for me to be able to draw a line and be able to cut it a little bit easier. These straws are quite sturdy until you get them wet, but for what we're using them for, they're perfect. So I've got that line there, and then I'm just going to get some scissors. I'm just going to cut down the ends. Now because I've used the Collal, it is very, very strong. Now don't worry about these looking a bit washed up, because they're going to get covered with the longer pieces when we stick them like this. So I'm going to wait for that other piece to dry fully, and then we can be putting it together. And I'm just going to knot it now. It's me not watching what I'm doing. Don't worry about it. Now if you don't want to keep them white, now this is the point where you could paint them or spray them if you've got some sort of spray paint or just regular post paint. It's totally up to you. This one I'm leaving the straws just plain white, and I'm decorating the top and the bottom of it. So I'll go and get the other pieces and I'll come back once it's dry. So to decorate the lid and the base, I'm using papers from the Crafter's Companion Sara's Signature Collection Crafty Fun, and I'm going to be using these papers here. That's just for the top and the bottom. So I just thought I'd show you the paper pan before I got started. Now for the top and the bottom, I'm going to need some mount board. If you've not got mount board, you could just take old cereal boxes and cut the right sizes out and stack them on top of each other and glue them with the Collal, and that'll make them nice and strong. I've got this, so that's what I'm using. So going to need, if you're using the McDonald's size straws, which I am, you're going to need a piece of hardboard or mountboard, call it properly. It's 9 inches by 5 inches, because we're going to have our 4-inch sides and our 8-inch sides, so I've just gone ½ an inch either side, so we've got a bit of trim. Now it's up to you whether if you want to keep the pointed corners like this, that's your choice. I'm keeping them in. You could put them at an angle and still do the same process as this, but again, that is totally up to you. So you're wanting your chosen paper face down, and then you take your mount board or whatever it is that you're using, and then just cover it with some colour. Now every time you put some of this on, this will reinforce the base and the lid, because it is a very strong construction glue. So I'm just going to stick it down. I'll try and get it so it's lined up with the bottom of the paper here. It's not very close up shot, so I wanted you to see the whole thing while I was doing it. Now for the corners, it's going to be a little bit like if you do the what you call hospital bed folds when you're making your bed. So we're going to be, let's just trim a little bit of this off. I have to do this beforehand, but in hindsight, so I'm just going to trim a little bit off. I will use these pieces for something else, but like I said, in hindsight I would have thought I could do that closer to the edge. So learn from my mistake. There we go. Right, so I've got that stuck now. That's already, as you can see, I can barely move it now because it's already stuck. So on the corners, I'm just going to take the corner piece here. I can zoom in on this a little bit. There we go. So I'm going to fold it over like this and make sure that the paper is at a proper right angle. This was why it's important to make sure that this bottom edge lines up with the end of your paper. And just burnish paper. Just looking for my bone folder. And then I just press into the board. So as you can see, it's coming up to the edge piece of it. Put some glue on the square, because you can easily see when you've creased it, you can see where you're needing to put glue. And then you need to do that to the other 3 corners. Show you once more and I'll do the rest off camera because it can get very boring to watch me doing all 4. So again, I'm folding it up, making sure that the papers are at a right angle. Press down with your bone folder. If you've not got a bone folder, you could use your scissors or the back of a blunt knife. But just be careful if you're doing that you don't go and cut yourself. I'm just trying to think of things that have got this sort of, it's just a blunt end that you really need and just to press it into place. There we go. Pop over there. Right, sorry I've gone off there. So you can see what I've done here now. So as you can see, this is turning white. If you have not the fitted sheets, but you have the flat sheets for bedding, it's very similar to when you're tucking your sheets underneath. That's all that we're doing. So I'm going to do this to the other 2 corners and I'll be back. Right, so I've got all the corners folded over now. So as you can see, I've got a nice funny shape. Probably has a name, but I don't know what it is. I'm not that bright. So what I'm going to do now is with the sides, I'm just going to pull them towards me because this is quite thick paper. It needs a good burnish. I'm taking the bone folder and really pressing along the sides, and then I'm going to take the pointed end of the bone folder and just push it right up to the mount board. If you get nice good and wood poles and where the join up here, it'll look more professional. So it's always good to get that added bonus to your work if you're making it for somebody else. I'll probably just use this as some sort of storage, or I might end up using it as a gift box, but the idea is for a gift box, but you can use it for storage or anything else. So I'll just put the cloud glue there and I'm just spreading it out, and with the one command it'll activate the glue so it'll get it to stick a little more quickly. Got that one. And then when you fold over the end one, now we're going to have this little gap here, but it's going to get covered up by the sides and the other piece that we're going to stick on the top here. So I'm just going to do the same on this. And just give it a really, really good push. Some glue. Good 90 corner just there, and like I said, this is going to get covered up by the sides and things anyway, but if any of it's showing, all you're going to see is probably about that much. So if that bothers you, just leave the pieces around the edge a little bit longer and they'll close up together. But I've done both of the pieces exactly the same because I know it's going to be getting covered up with something else. So I'll do the other two sides and I'll be back. Right, so I've got my base and lid all finished, well now anyway, because we're going to be covering this up in a little bit. But what we're going to do now is we're going to put our sides together. So I've got my hot glue gun. You don't have to use hot glue, it's a lot quicker than for video, and you don't want to be boring you too much waiting for regular glue to dry. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be sticking the shorter sides on the inside of the longer ones at a right angle. Okay, so I'm going to just take my glue, I'm just going to put a line all the way down. And then it's probably easiest if you're doing it standing it onto your desk or work surface, just to make sure that you've got it at a proper right angle. So as you can see here, if you've got a gridded work mat like I've got here, you can line it up with this. Now I think the glue dried a little bit too quickly before I'd done that then, so I could put some more on. The glue stays hotter the longer it's been switched on, and it's not been switched on too long as of now, so that's probably why it's done it. So I'm just lining it up again with at a right angle using my mat and just making sure that it's correct there. Okay, so that's one of the shorter ends, and I'm going to do the same with the other short end. So more down here. Step it up again. Line it up. Just hold it until it gets up to where you want it to go. That's about right. So I'll turn it round, and what I'm going to do is we're going to just stick this on the side like this. So I'm going to do one at a time because I don't want the glue drying too quickly on me again. So I'll do one side first. got any glue on the inside, you can just sweep it up with your finger like that, just make sure you don't burn yourself. And that will fit in any of the gaps of the straws, because obviously they're circular, so there's going to be tiny little holes that you can fill in. And then what I'm going to do now is do it this way and just pop glue there. And just lift it over and then just pop it over the end, wipe any excess away that you don't need. Okay, then that's the size of your box. So easy peasy. So it's not difficult at all. It's up to you whether if you want to have the straws going over the long end or whether if you want it going over the short ends like what I've got here. So now we've got our two pieces. When this goes on to the base, we're just going to have a tiny little gap going all the way around, as you can see. But the paper that I'm using is of a different pattern. So what I've done is I've cut these to what the size of the, or just about the size of the box is going to be. And then I'll just do some little marks, and then you want to keep it within, underneath the straw. So if you just take a pencil, I roughly guessed these before I'm putting it together. I did it at 4.5 by 8.5, but it's a little bit too long. Oh, and then we can just take our roller. Just make sure that you cut it straight. This is where, like I say, a gridded work mat really comes in handy, because you know whether if you're getting things lined up straight. Okay. Trim that down. Okay. That's the other one. So we'll make sure that they're both exactly the same, so I'll just leave it near it over the top, and I'll let you know the measurements of what this one is, and then if you're using the same straws you can use exactly the same measurements. There we go. I'll take away our scrap pieces. Now these are going to go over the pattern pieces like this. So for the lid we're going to have to put something on the inside to stop it from falling off all the time. So if you just line up a piece of paper that's going to be covering it underneath and line up the frame itself, and then just press down with it, and then just take a pencil and just put some light marks along where the straws are. Okay, so you can just about see those. I've done them really faintly. And what I'm going to use is I'm going to be using some straws to go around this on the inside, so that will stop it from wobbling around. But we'll stick this one, the base on there first. So let's have it to equal distance all the way around. So just eyeball it. Oh, got some more glue. Just try and get it go. And then leave that to dry. And this we're just going to stick right over the top, so you'll not see the different paper from the outside on the outside edge. It will just be covered. You can just about see. So probably about a third of an inch all the way around. That's what that one's going for. So now I'm just going to stick this down. So then the glue gun. Just put that over paper and press it down. Just hold it in place until it's fully stuck. Okay, there you go. So you've got your side pieces and your base stuck together. So put that to the side to finish. Right, so I've got some more straws, so we're going to probably need 3 to do this, what we're going to do now is. So as you can see, I've got the really faint pencil lines. They're a bit wobbly. I'm not going in perfect right angles, but we can sort of see to that now. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a rectangle on the inside of this line. So I'm just going to take the straw and pop it up to the edge of the lines, and then just make a mark with a pencil, and then just snip off the end, and then and stick that on the inside of that line. Now I've got a bit more of a gap at this end, so I'm just going to move it over so that it's got an equal distance at either end. So, glue strings from the glue gun. Okay, I'm just using the hot glue. I'm just going to place it down where I've measured it against. Okay, put that on there. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So quite easily we can mark that one against that one, so I know it's going to be exactly the same. We've got it. Now, probably we take a ruler and then make sure you've got it glued up straight. Again, another good thing of using a gridded work mat. And go up to a line and keep it there. Glue again. Just make sure you've got it in place. Yeah, I've got a little bit of leeway. That one just managed to slip just a little. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to be able to see that bit anyway. Watching one side more than the other one, so just be careful. Okay, so we've got our 2 longer sides, and we're just going to take third straw, and then take your pencil, and then just, it's probably easier if you do it sort of like this. I know it's at a bit of an angle, but if you, sorry, you go in there, sorry the camera's just wobbled, just mark in there, and then use this one just to move it along, cut one so it's exactly the same. There we go. The two longer ones. Get ready for a new glue stick. There we go. And if you go and do that, you can always just rub off any pencil marks. And we'll do exactly the same on the other side. And then that one will fit in between those two. I'm just going to rub out any marks that I can see when I drew around. Now we're just going to test this. Zoom back out. So we don't want to stick it down to our lid. Anything needs changing. And that fits perfectly inside. It will do once it's fully dry anyway. That's what you get for doing it before it's fully dry. It fits perfectly on the inside, so I'm going to make sure that that's fully dry and I'll come back and I'll show you the next step. Right, I've got that all dry now. Now you can put a little bit on the corner pieces, just a tiny little dot, and get the glue stick to go in. It just reinforces it. And then just smooth it out. Just pop it there. Again, be careful you don't burn yourself, because quite easily with this, but it's only a tiny bit you need to glue. Yeah, they're all stuck now, so those are the ones that got some coming in from underneath. And then what I'm going to do now is, I'm just going to trim the excess off around here. Got that trimmed off. Let's get the rubbish out of the way. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to double check that that fits where I want it to go. Right, I'm not pressing it all the way in because I don't want it to get stuck in there and I can't get it out. So the next bit is was making sure we've got it the same level going all the way around. Okay, so undo this. Try it this way. Just worried that if I don't get it stuck exactly where it's going to be, it's not going to fit. So I'm just going to lean it over the top, know where it's going to go. Once it's fully stuck to the lid piece, then you'll be able to press it down and close the box properly. So I'll pop some colour on here. Just try not to push it in too much, because obviously if it goes in, you're not going to be able to get it back out. And then I'm just going to place the lid over the top. And then you can try and get it so it's got the same overhang over either side. That looks about right. Once it's got that bit of tack to it, you can get out of place and you can just press it down while it dries. Okay, so that's all stuck down, and then let's bring our box back in, and it fits perfectly on top and it's sealed up. So I'm really pleased with how that's turned out. It took me a while to get all the straws together to do it, but I've had this idea in my head for a while and thought I'm gonna do it and get the video done. And I've also got some coloured straws, so I'm going to pop this away while it's still drying, and then I'll be back and I'll show you the other samples that I've made. Okay, so this one's all finished and you've seen me put this one together. It's a really good size box, and the straws are 8 inches and we halved it, so we've got it, it's about 4.5 once you've put them both on either side, and it's a really good sturdy box. You could fit quite a lot in there for whatever birthday, present, storage, whatever you want it to be. So I've got the other ones that I've made to show you how you can make different sizes. So using the same type of straws, this is the McDonald's one. I can't give you a really good angle of them all because they're this one's quite large. This one I just use the full length of the straws on either side, so it's a good 8 inches by 8.5 once you've added onto the side pieces. And then just around the bottom I've just glued some beading ribbon embellishment stuff, whatever you want to call it, just around the edge, just to give it that extra little bit of fancy glam to it, and then that just fits really nicely as well. So, and you could always cut out an aperture in this and have like what's it called, acetate window on it, so if you wanted to be able to see into the box you could do it that way. You just have to cut it out once you've covered it, and then you could put a frame around what you've cut out just to make it look professional again. So that's the one with the McDonald's straws. Now I've also bought in the past some multicoloured straws. These are them, and these are, I think they're just a little bit longer actually. Oh no, these are 8 inches as well, but these I found in, I think it was the Works. I'm in the UK, so if you're in the UK you might be able to find some. But you don't have to use these ones, you can use any fancy straws that you find. They're a really good way of making some sturdy storage. As you can see, these ones are a lot thinner than the McDonald's straws, so this is quite a shallow box. So this size would actually be good for making a selection box or something at Christmas time, or if you've just got like a scarf or some gloves or something like that to wrap up for somebody, and that's just a nice size for you to put them in. So, and on this one I lid it that way around. I left the base the same size as the straw, where I made of the straws, sorry, and then I've just made the lid a little bit bigger, so it's got that lid for you to lift it up. You can just use some ribbon to fasten it. And then I decided to make a smaller version with the same straws, but instead of just using one of each of the colours, I've just done a pattern repeat going up. So I've got 2 of the full repeats going on, and then I've got some of this embellishment going around the bottom again. And this one I've put the lip on the top and on the bottom. The paper that I've used for these ones are from the Crafts Companion Masquerade Ball collection. I really liked it, and when I got the paper I didn't really want to cut into the nice papers because they're just that nice. But now I've found a way to put them into good use, and I'm really happy that I have done. These probably will end up staying in my my studio because I just like them too much. So I hope that's given you some inspiration on just using straws in a different way, rather than just either being put in the bin or just taking up your storage space. I've been wanting to do this for a while. We don't go to I want you to know we don't feed our children just on takeaways. This amount of straws has been built up over at least a year, and we're a family of 5, so they're built up quite easily. So I think I might put some ribbon around here and put a nice big bow on the front when I know what I'm going to be doing with it. And that's it. So if you've got any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. And if you've liked the video, if you could give me a thumbs up, that would be appreciated. And if you've not subscribed, if you would consider subscribing, that would be appreciated as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.